factoring is going backwards. It's if I give you the answer, can you give me the two things that we multiply?
Tilt it down.
To get the board.
Okay.
The board is not just me. It's crooked every day.
Yeah, it's always crooked. Is that better?
Yeah, it's a board hour. Okay.
Why can't she talk to?
Because it's a video.
She watches the video a day after.
Oh.
It's not a Skype, you ding dong.
I thought she was there.
See, again, meanness.
Yeah.
There was no need for that.
There is such a thing as Skype. There is such a thing as a live video.
Exactly.
She's not psychic. It's not like she invented something that didn't exist.
Freaks.
That would make her really smart, though.
You can correct people without being nasty. What if I was that nasty every time I told one of you that you didn't have something correct?
That's wrong, you dingus.
Stupid.
Like, that's
24.
It's just not a nice way to act.
You're stupid.
Go home.
You see how we just wasted like a full minute
Yeah.
pretending to be mean? We're going to pretend to be something, so we pretend to be nice. We're going to fake it. Let's fake better than we are, not fake worse. All right.
But this is fake.
Nope.
I know.
We're done. All right. I'm just very distracted. All right, so the first thing we always have to do, number one, you see I put combined like terms because every once in a while, and this is rare, but every once in a while they give you something to factor that actually has like terms in it. So then it's not so much, just in case. So step one would be, if there are some like terms, this is rare, they don't usually do it. But just in case there are some like terms in there, we're going to put those together before we try to factor anything. Step two is always, and this one's important, is factor out a GCF. So if there is one, there isn't always a GCF. But if there's something we can take out, we want to go ahead and do that before we go any farther. So what can we take out of both of these?
X.
X. Just one of them?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because there's only one here. So what's left over here is 11.
X plus 4.
Plus 4. There we go. We did GCF already. It's been a little while that we did. How about?
So is that the end of that problem?
That's the end of that problem. That's as far as we can go for that one.
I like this one.
We're not finished yet, but I love it.
You can think of 6 and an X.
6X.
It is. The 6 can come out. And an X. Just one of them, because there's only one here to take out. So what's left from this?
6Y.
2Y.
He said 6Y.
Good effort, though.
And an X.
And then, you got the variable right. That's the part that usually confuses me.
Huh?
Well, I took the 6 out. And I took one of the X's out, so there's only the X left.
Oh. Okay.
What I really did is 6 divided by 6 is 1. It's just that we don't have to write the 1. And 12 divided by 6, that's where the 2 came from. But it is very easy to accidentally subtract.
Yeah, it is.
And you should be thankful sometimes that people make those mistakes aloud in class and have the guts to do it, because then we have a chance to talk about it and it saves you from accidentally doing it on your test. Yes, ma'am.
Are we supposed to write this like under 2 or 3 or 4?
Not necessarily,
That's 2.
but we will get some formulas on the 2, 3, 4, because we're just still on GCS right now. So we'll get some formulas for the 2, 3, and 4, and that.
So you'll tell us when.
So right now we're still just talking about GCS. Okay, how about one more time, just for your measure, but we'll make it big.
I'm really bad at this.
I'm not real great at it because it takes creativity. I just like it. There's nothing we can combine. If there were some like terms, that would already save us some time, but there's not.
3.
Did you take a 3 out?
It's gonna go on to
Come on
27.
here.
A 3?
3 X squared Y.
Zaxby's on Perry Hill has a new cappuccino / milkshake maker.
What?
And they've sent a free coupon for everybody in the school.
Gimme.
Cappuccino and a milkshake?
And you have
There's 20 of us.
I know what I'm doing for lunch.
Sorry, Sarah Kate.
Hey, you should skip out on Latin and go see the army person. Me and Michael are.
The army person?
Yeah.
There's someone in front of
Almost. Is that
This
one?
doesn't go into
Cappuccino and a milkshake?
If
Wait,
you want
wait.
one, you want people.
in one.
and that one's
Yeah.
I think you did two.
Oh, they got 2 new machines? The cappuccino milkshake.
You are
sounds
so
weird.
smart. You just didn't get that one.
I can't wait.
I'll try next time.
He
I'll try
doesn't
next
know how to react to that.
And he's like,
that was really stupid.
you can't make coffee and a milkshake and
You probably can.
Where is she?
Yeah, I've heard women.
Is it black?
No,
Here, scan up. Or she got slide up.
I was looking, I was writing my paper. Women all over my personal face.
Is it?
No,
This is for
just
you.
let me see your thing.
What thing?
Mario, you're so. Ah, you're so beautiful.
I want the coupon. Yeah, you don't want to wear.
Alicia really needs to work on that. She's very good.
Yeah.
I was about to say something mean and I corrected
I
myself.
noticed and appreciate it. I noticed you making an effort.
Good job.
Thank you.
No, you
You're
got
okay.
it.
I didn't say it.
Oh, a milkshake. Wait,
I didn't get
Should you? Okay, I'm gonna let you do
I'm in the
it.
middle of the algebra with milkshakes and think people are gonna pay attention to them. It's called
Perry Hill
Super
only?
Duper Chocolate.
Is there one on Perry Hill?
Yeah, it's right here.
Down.
It's right here. You
Oh. The one I always go to. I thought it was on Carmichael.
So much
It's
smart.
It is on Carmichael.
It's just
Smart,
but I
smart,
think shopping
smart,
centers actually-
smart.
God.
You.
God. I'm so smart, I just mess up sometimes.
No, he had a valid point.
No, I know. I said he was messed up.
Jackie's still in Carmichael.
Yeah.
I mean, if you think about it, tell Alicia.
There we go.
Carmichael, but the shopping center.
No, yeah, she didn't say I was dumb this time. She said, hey, you're smart, you just messed up one time.
He's going on the wall. You can think about that.
Oh!
I just said
Oh! Low blow.
I'm
I'm just making a big deal out of nothing.
Okay.
Oh, bite your head off.
I heard 6, but 6 doesn't come out of 27.
It's 3.
Is there anything?
Yeah, I was about to say.
3x squared y. Alright.
Did
you get, if 3 is the biggest we can take out, oh, we need to take out letters too.
Yeah. X to the second. And
2, 2,
Y.
and 3, so we can take 2 of them out, and y's have 3.
Only one Y.
Alright, so 18 divided by 3 is?
6.
How many x's are left?
9.
And how many y's? Y
2.
squared here. There we go. 24
8.
divided by 3, that's 8. Thank you, Katie, I love that involved.
And nothing.
And nothing else, because we took out both of the x's and one of the y's.
9. X. Y.
Why are you so loud?
I like to be involved. Thanks, you just insulted me.
You need to chill.
She took 2.
I didn't know I took two. I didn't know it.
Don't, you're not allowed to take 2.
I didn't know what to do. I did not know what to do.
What?
I know what to do.
Okay. Stop. And not for 30 seconds, and then pretend like you forgot that you're making too much noise. You are not children anymore. This is not a kindergarten class, and I'm not reminding you every 10 seconds anymore to stop making noise. I do not like sucking all the happiness out of a room. It's not fun. But if that is the only way I can teach a math lesson, then that is what will have to happen. Because I am done with me going home feeling like I didn't do my job well because you won't be quiet. So if somebody's going home upset today, it is not going to be me. I'm going to go home knowing I did the best teaching of algebra I can do. And if that involves kicking some people out of this room, it's time to do it. And you can all day try to tell yourself that Miss Taylor was just being mean. But everybody who's been in this room more than one day knows that Miss Taylor gave you plenty of chances. They are all used up. Thank you. First thing we always want to do is take out a GCF. Once you've done that, the next step is to ask yourself how many terms are in that thing, and then we're going to try to factor. So let me see if I can give you one that follows one of these rules and do something, factor it out. The first rule that's on there is difference of squares. See, the book does this in a very different order than I like to do, and that makes it tricky. They did difference of squares. Okay. We're going to try to factor this completely. That's what your rules will usually say, factor completely. That means take out a GCF, factor as much as you can. What can we take out of both of those? Five. Excellent. All right, now, what we have left is what's called a difference of squares. So for a minute, we're going to ignore the 5. We're going to pretend it's not there. And we're going to look just at this part. This thing is called a difference of squares. And I'm sure you can see it on your sheet. We're going to kind of work through these one bit at a time. Not necessarily that they're in the order of the sheet. It's a difference because of the minus. Squares comes from the fact that x squared is something squared. And so is 9. What squared gives you 9? 3. So this is a difference of squares because both of these things are perfect squares. That's what we call them if you can take the square root in your head. And then it's a difference because of the minus symbol in between. Our rule tells us that if we have a difference of squares, and this is how they write the rule, a squared minus b squared is equal to a plus b and a minus b. That's the rule. So for us to do it, we just keep the 5 because we're not really messing with it right now. And we rewrite this, we're going to factor it. What two things did we multiply to get this? And they were x plus 9 and x, not 9, 3. Much better. X plus 3 and x minus 3. The square root of the x, the square root of the 9. We put a plus in one parentheses and a minus in the other.
Doesn't that just make it worse? Like, why do you want to do that?
It makes it longer. It depends on what you mean by complicated. But if you want to solve an equation with these in them, which we're not doing yet, but if we wanted to solve an equation, we would have to have it factored.
So you're basically going to get in simplest form.
Depending on what you mean by simple. Some people would call this simple. So this is called factored completely.
Which one is factored completely?
This. We have completely factored it. So first we did a GCF. Then it has 2 terms. What's left in here has 2 terms, right? X squared and 9. So we go through a list of 2 terms, and this one meets the requirements for difference of squares. So we just follow the rule for how to factor it. All right, now we're going to do that. Does it have a greatest common factor? No. It has 2 terms, and the only one we've learned so far is difference of squares. But this meets the requirement for difference of squares because it's a difference of 2 things that are perfect squares. So in our parentheses, I'll put x in each set because that's the square root of x squared. What's the square root of 81? 9. And then what goes in each set of parentheses?
Plus 9.
So it wouldn't work if you had an...
If we had x squared, no, if it was x squared plus 81,
Yeah, it wouldn't work.
there's nothing we can do with it for now.
Is it always plus, minus?
Yeah, if the order doesn't matter, it could be x minus 9, x plus 9. The order that you put it in doesn't matter as long as one gets a plus and one gets a minus. Yes, ma'am.
What if the 81 number is like something that can't be squared?
Then there's nothing we can do with it for now. Okay, are we finished with this?
Yes.
No,
Okay. Did you say no just because I said still no?
no, because you still can simplify 9.
Okay, thank you for saying that. The 9 is still a perfect square, right? But is this? No. Alright, but I want to do one that is.
I'm making a good mistake today.
You're making just the ones I was dreaming you would make. Thank you. Not you specifically, see that, I didn't mean it that way, I
That
meant.
hurt my feelings.
I really didn't, I meant, sometimes I want the class to say a certain thing because it leads right into the next bit. So
Why did you just say that?
Alright, so, let's factor this one. It doesn't have x to the second minus primary. Thank you. We have x to the second minus 9, x to the second plus 9. Because I want you to see that that x to the fourth is a perfect square. Anything with an even exponent is a perfect square. Because you can always just cut it in half. So x to the 10th would be x to the 5th and x to the 5th. Anything with an even exponent is a perfect square, and you just cut it in half. Because x squared times itself, x squared, would give you x to the 4th. Alright, but now we have another difference of squares right here. So we have to do this one again. X plus 3, x minus 3, x squared plus 9. Can we factor this one any farther? Not with the rule that we have, because this is not a difference of squares, it's a sum of squares, and we don't have a rule for that. In fact, we will never learn a rule for sum of squares.
So if it's like an x squared plus something,
We don't have a rule for that right now. Specifically for that. So, for today, really am not sure I'm going to do anything else. I kind of want to end on a high note, because I feel like we got that.
Yeah, I think I actually got that.
We got like 4 minutes anyway.
Yeah. Well, I thought I might could squeeze one more rule in there.
That sounds.
That's it. You know, Monday's always a good day for that.
No, yeah.
If you want to end over the weekend.
Well,
Yeah, because we'll probably forget over the weekend, so we switch to it. Yeah, I think that one's.
We all know.
You know, unless you want to do more, because, you know, we're probably not
Do you
gonna
not
convince
factor
you
that
of-
x squared plus
We're not
9 down
convincing
again
you
because
away.
x
That
squared
was
is
a
not...
sum of squares.
Oh, yes,
Not a
that's
difference.
right.
Yeah. But if it was different, then we would keep going. And sometimes you have to keep going several times. Yeah. I kind of want to give homework out of me this spite. Volume. Like there are 2 parts of my brain right now. One that's like, it's a Friday, we only did a little bit. And then the other part of my brain, it's the student part of my brain that goes, it's a Friday, we only learned that tiny bit, we only have a few minutes. The teacher part of my brain goes, yeah, but they wouldn't shut up, you should give them a pal.
Yeah, but we'll learn to be nicer. You'll be nicer.
Here's what's going to happen. We're not going to do homework tonight. And in return, you're going to do me the following 2 favors. Ready? Number 1, you're going to not lose the sheet I just handed you. If I find it on the floor with a footprint on it when y'all leave, I will be really sad. So that's the first favor you're going to do. The second favor is you're going to take a blank sheet of paper out.
You're gonna...
And we're going to have a last 1-minute assignment.
Like, I will not do this 400 times.
No.
I used to have to do that all the time.
You
That's
just
why I'm
get
so
too
good at writing.
comfortable
We're practicing kindness. And I have just made a split-second decision.
We're gonna write
We're
that.
going to start with Sarah Kate because she's not here, so she's the easiest. And we're going to all write one thing that we like about Sarah Kate. It would be better if it could not be a physical teacher. That's, I mean, if that's, I really did say that before you said that. Something you love about, just what you know about her. Right, one thing you love, and I'll put them all together and share them with Sarah Kate. And tomorrow, I'm going to pick somebody else. And we're going to all put them
Should we write our name on it or
Start making
not?
a habit of kindness.
Should you write your name on it or not?
That's up to you.
Oh, I don't remember that.
Goes on and on.
I got it.
If you want her to know it was you, write your name. If you don't carry it away, whatever, leave it behind. Quick of all, but one person does it.
Are you serious?
We just write one thing on this one piece of paper. About something you love about.
Mine
We get it back.
sounds...
We don't waste the paper.
Here, look, turn the top part.
I should have given you a,
Wait, we tear off.
tomorrow I'll give you scratch
This
paper.
isn't mean,
How about
right? I mean, like, I mean it in a nice way.
Hope she loves to eat a lot.
Because she loves to eat.
Well, she's skinny.
Yeah, so it's not mean. If she's fat, then it'd be kind of mean.
Alright.
I'm not.
She does, she just loves food, and I like that about her too. I think it's because of what I know what she does as a job, and it makes my
Yeah.
heart warm that she also likes food.
Yeah.
You're fine.
As much as I do.
Alright, so
You
Kate,
can stop recording it if you want to.
kind email coming your way. Whoa!
And then we should do one next month that's